Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Moniz, and I've been using the LG G5 for the past couple of months. In fact, I've already done a couple videos on it, specifically putting against the Samsung Galaxy S7, and I also did a 5 reasons to buy the LG G5. But I've actually been holding off my full review because the initial reaction to the phone wasn't very positive. I wanted to see for myself how this phone would be a couple months later. Now, this is not going to be a full in-depth review. There are tons of those out there, but more of a video talking about what I like and what I don't like about the phone and whether or not you should actually buy it. Let's start this off by talking about the design. And one of the biggest complaints is that a lot of people are saying the G5 is not the most pleasing phone to look at. Well, the good news is you can always slap an awesome D-brand skin on it like this one and really change the way the phone looks and feels. Now, the cool thing about this design is I find it very comfortable to hold in your hand. It's not slippery, and the fingerprint scanner is placed on the back similar to the Nexus 5X. The G5 happens to be one of the first semi-modular smartphones to hit the market. Now, this has its pros and cons, and one of the pros is that you can easily swap out the battery anytime you want to. This is something you can't do on any of the flagships that have been released recently. Now, some of the things that are not so great are design flaws. Like, for instance, there is a gap between the screen and the modular portion of the phone. When LG launched the G5, they also announced 2 modules to go along with it. A camera grip, which acts as a dedicated shutter button and also extends the battery life. And the second module was a DAC by Bang & Olufsen, which improves the audio quality. Now, the thing about the camera grip is that it sticks out the back of the phone and it really doesn't look good when it's attached to it. And the problem with the DAC, it was never released in North America, so not everybody can get to it. The thing is, I would have loved to see LG have a variety of modules to choose from. This way we could actually see the benefits of having a modular smartphone. The one area I think they nailed was the display. It's 5.3 inches, it's not too big or small, and it's perfect for people who don't want to make the jump to a bigger phone, but want something a little bit bigger than what they're currently using now. The colors are vibrant, the screen gets really bright, the viewing angles are fine, but I did notice it favors a cooler bluish tone that's reminiscent to Sony screens or even the LG G4. Now, here's the thing, if there's one main reason to buy this phone, it's because of the camera. Yes, I know it's using the same 16 megapixel sensor that's on the G4, which by the way is a fantastic camera, but LG has also added a second 8 megapixel camera on the back that is capable of taking a wider field of view. In my opinion, the G5 has provided one of the best camera experiences I've had on a smartphone. Being able to switch back and forth between different camera angles offers a unique way to take photos. Pair this with their manual controls and you can get very specific on the way you want your images to look. The one area that I felt was a letdown on the G5 was the software experience. The LG UX interface is by far my least favorite theme on a smartphone. It's very cartoony and LG installs a lot of useless apps on the phone, which I consider to be bloatware. It's funny because a few years ago, or even a couple of years ago, I would have said Samsung's TouchWiz was my least favorite UI. And finally, I just want to quickly talk about battery life. The LG G5 comes with a 2800 mAh battery, which is a little bit smaller than the 3000 mAh battery inside of the Samsung Galaxy S7 and HTC 10. Now with the G5, you're gonna get about a day's use depending on the type of user you are. So if you're light to medium, you should have no problems getting through the entire day. Now if you're a heavy user, you're definitely not gonna get a day to a day and a half, whereas the other 2 devices that I mentioned, you most likely will. Alright, so here's my closing thoughts. The LG G5 is not a bad phone, but I obviously wouldn't recommend it over something like the Samsung Galaxy S7 or the HTC 10. In fact, if you have a G5 already, you're probably really enjoying the phone. It comes with a great display, it has a fantastic camera experience, and it's one of the only phones on the market where you can actually swap out the battery. Here's the thing about smartphones in 2016, specifically flagship smartphones in 2016. It's really hard to get a bad experience. They're all fast performers, they generally all have good battery life, and they all have fantastic cameras. Now, if you don't want the Samsung Galaxy S7 or HTC 10, but you want a flagship experience, this is still a good option. And in my opinion, you can probably pick this up for a lot cheaper than the other 2 devices that I mentioned. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about the G5 in the comments below. And if you have one already, let me know what you like and dislike about it. I just want to thank everyone out there for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in my next video.